This is by far one of the most bizarre cases I have seen in a while. For real. And I'm always on First 48 and just watching cases. And it also kind of shows you just how broken our legal system truly is as well. Until the results are 100% conclusive, I'm holding out on hope. I really am. Prayers to Gabby's family. This was not the result I don't think anybody wanted. I was a youth for mixed up emotions, starring commotions with anybody on the block, whoever thought of provoking. Carried a chip on my upper torso. It was more so like a vacant irritation. Grandma didn't have a cure for. It's only logical. A child want their biological parents to be beside them through plays and recitals. Back then I was blinded by the fact that she stayed down for a shorty when mom and dad grabbed the backpack. So I did that. Family, what it do? Good morning. It's your girl Tamika, and I am back with another video. Shout out to the family S&T squad, man. I love y'all the long way. Thank you so much for coming back and tuning in. If you are new to the channel, please do me the solid right now and smash that subscribe button. I'm on the road to 100K and I need your help, no cap. Listen, you guys, we're gonna have a different type of morning topic. I don't know how many people has been following the Gabby Petito case, but this case has really bothered me. Like, seriously. It almost kind of left that lasting impression like the Kanika Jenkins case, where you just really don't know. It's so many different outcomes that it can be, and it's just so frustrating when you don't have concrete proof of what happened to this young lady. For the people who do not know about this case, I'm going to give you a quick rundown. Let's take a look. Now, Gabby is a 22-year-old girl from New York. This case is strange because on June of this year, her and her boyfriend actually took off to embark on a cross-country trip. And, you know, it would seem to be that she was very excited about it. She was sharing the experience on social media to her family. And they actually just planned to visit, like, the West Coast, you know what I'm saying, and visit different parks and, you know, different landmarks against the Western United States. You know what I mean? She was very excited about it. Now, she had maintained a lot of contact with her family while she was embarking on this trip. Now, it gets a little bit tricky because on August 12th, the police had an encounter with the couple. And I'm going to play a clip from that actual encounter. Let's take a look.
Okay. What's going on? How come you're crying?
I'm sorry. We've just been fighting this morning. Some personal issues.
It was a long day. We were camping yesterday, and camping got stuff, flies and stuff. I'm sorry I hit the bump there.
I was distracting him from driving. I'm sorry.
Can I get you to step out of the vehicle for me, man?
Yeah.
Just hang tight right there.
Now, as you can see, as soon as the police approached the car, you know what I'm saying, Gabby was visibly shaken. You know what I mean? Brian actually seemed like he was a little bit intoxicated, the way that he was talking. It just seemed like his words were slurred. She was crying. It just was not a situation that just looked okay. It didn't look normal, okay? Now, I know that in relationships, we go through problems. Me and my wife has argued in the car. I didn't yell. She didn't yell. I didn't cry. She didn't cry. But it was still things outside of all of those normal things that relationships go through that just didn't sit right in my spirit when I was looking at Brian as the police was talking to Gabby. You know what I mean? Let's take a look at a little bit more of the clip before we move on.
I'm going to go ahead and close your door, okay? Why don't you come over here? SO229, I have the female that was on the passenger seat separated from the male. Keys are on the hood. You want to tell me what's going on?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, some days I have really bad OCD, and
okay.
I was just cleaning and straightening up the back of the van before, and I was apologizing to him and saying, I'm sorry that I'm so mean, because sometimes I have OCD and sometimes I just get really frustrated. Not like mean towards him, I just like, I guess my vibe is like, I hear him be like in a bad mood. And I was just saying, I'm sorry if I'm in a bad mood. I've just been really stressed. I had so much work I was doing on my computer this morning.
What do you do for a living?
Well, I used to work at an all-organic juice bar, but I just quit my job. Okay. I was a nutritionist.
Now, the police approached the vehicle in the first place because there was actually a witness that called the police that actually witnessed Brian strike Gabby. You know what I'm saying? The witness said that she physically witnessed Brian slap Gabby and was concerned for Gabby's well-being. Now, that was the reason why the police even confronted them in the first place. He not only talked to Gabby, but he also talked to Brian as well. Let's take a look at some of the interaction that the police officer had with him.
Did you talk to Gabby already?
Yeah, I just spoke to her.
Yeah.
So, you want to do me a favor? Let's go ahead and get you to step out of the vehicle, alrighty? Come on over here. You're not in any trouble right now. So, tell me what's going on.
She just gets worked up sometimes, and I try and really distance myself from her, so like I lock the car and I walk away from her. What happened this morning is that she's trying to start up like her own little website blog and everything, so I give her time. We really had a nice morning, if anything, but she just got worked up because we were trying to get going and get our day going because we want to go like arches before the Sunday time.
Okay. You want to tell me about those scratches on your face?
She had a cell phone in her hand. That's why I was pushing her away, because she wanted I locked the keys so I could walk away. I said, let's just take a breather and let's not go anywhere. Let's just calm down for a minute because she was getting a little worked up. And then she had her phone and was trying to get the keys from me, so I got away. I was just trying to, I know I shouldn't push her, but I was just trying to push her away to go, let's just take a minute, step back and breathe. And she got me with her phone.
Now, as you can see, as soon as Brian was removed from the vehicle, you can clearly see that there were scratches that was very visible on his face. You know what I mean? And this is one of those type of situations where I feel like police officers have a tendency to pick and choose who they want to lock up. Because this was clearly a situation where I feel as if Brian should have been detained. One, you had a witness that already called. They don't know these people from a can of paint. So lying on them wouldn't even factor in at this moment. You know what I'm saying? And by her calling in, saying that she had physically, witnessed this man strike this young lady, you find him. You know what I mean? He has visible scratches on his face. I don't think this was a situation where you let them go on their own accord and just trust the fact that they're going to stay away from each other, especially when they're cross country at this time. You know what I mean? I feel like the outcome may have been different if the police would have intervened. Now, this encounter with the police actually occurred on August 12th. And up to that date, and actually up into the last week of August, they was actually in constant communication with Gabby. She will always be updating them on how things were going, where they were heading to next, etc. Now, the last week of August, there was a text message that was sent to the family, and the family did not believe that it came from Gabby herself. You know what I'm saying? And with that, the family began to become alarmed. They reached out to Gabby. She was not answering, and that led them to calling the police and filing the missing person report out on Gabrielle. Now, this is where this case take one of the strangest turns I have ever seen. After the missing person report was actually filed by Gabby's family, Brian actually returned home in the van. In the van that they were actually on their cross-country adventure with. He returned home in the van with no earthly idea where Gabby was. Now, the thing that's so crazy is when we're in relationships and we have a significant other and we're with someone that we can see ourselves marrying, you would think that cooperating with the police would be the first thing that you would want to do. But in his particular case, he did not cooperate. In fact, his family did not cooperate either. Now, a search warrant was issued for the van. And according to Northport Police, there were materials that was found in the van, but they did not disclose what those materials were as of now. Now, the troubling situation is that they did find the remains of a young lady that was matching Gabby's description. Now, until the forensics can 100% identify that it was in fact Gabby, a lot of people are still holding on to hope. I want to know how you feel, you guys. Drop it down in the comments. Do you feel like there is definitely foul play when it comes down to the fiance? Because I just feel like when you love somebody, that if you do not cooperate with the police, then there definitely got to be something wrong. There's definitely something wrong. There's definitely something that you're not telling us. Meet me in these comments right now. Just when you thought this case can get any more stranger, it just up and does. You know what I'm saying? Brian's family, who was not cooperating with the police or Gabby's family, finally reached out to the police saying that they wanted to talk. When the police, in fact, got there, they basically made it seem like they had no idea where Brian was. They hadn't had communication with him in X amount of weeks, which led them to also file a missing persons report. And I don't buy it. I think that Brian's family know where he is. I think that Brian's family know where she is. And I also feel as if it's very, very special, very, very selfish to take another set of parents through this type of pain. I know we have a certain biasness when it comes down to our kids, but I just cannot fathom another mother, doing this to another mother. I just don't get it. Like, I really don't. Me in these comments, though, I want to talk about it. S&T, I appreciate you guys for coming back and tuning in. I truly, truly do. Listen, prayers to Gabby. I hope the remains that they found was not, in fact, hers. And if it is, you know what I'm saying, I hope the family, they just received the closure that they deserve. I really, really do. I love y'all, S&T. I appreciate you guys for coming back and tuning in. And until next video, I'm going to catch y'all, dog. Peace.